That's about the long and short of it. In other words, all of this, everything that's happened is my fault. All of you are victims who had the misfortune of knowing me and getting dragged into this. No apology is sincere enough, but I'm so sorry for what you've been through. I'm not following. Why, I heard you all said, but I don't think you've got any reason to be that sorry. Come again, so? Based on what we've learned, Phantasma choosing a new master was an inevitability, and something it would have done whether you were there or not. As such, after it lost the Ariel, something like this would have happened no matter the circumstances. I agree. Phantasma would simply have chosen someone else and created a different world as a result of trauma that lay within. The thought that you might have been chosen is nothing short of terrifying too. Everything that has happened to us in here so far is nothing compared to what we would have endured had that come to pass. Oh, Mulair, your words are like the sweetest kiss turned frozen upon parting. Do you have that little faith in me, your one and only? Perhaps everyone here would have been drawn into the most ravenous feast the world has ever seen, but nothing more than that. I'm scared. I'm just disgusted. You're a special degree of creep, you know that? I want no part of any feast that comes out of your brain. Count me out on this. Count me out of this one. I can't help but feel you guys are kind of missing the point. Well, don't take this as me trying to defend you or anything, but in a sense, it might have been a good thing you were chosen over everyone else. How do you figure? I'm lost as well. Your Sigmata is obviously very powerful, and is capable of exerting a lot of control over things. Enough so that Phantasma as it is now exists in a state of order. But if it had chosen someone else, would this world have been able to maintain order then? It's possible that Phantasma would have been unable to contain the chaos that ensued and got out of control under someone else. Is what you're essentially getting at, right? I knew you'd understand, Joshua. If that had happened, a whole lot more people might have been caught up in this. Not that I've got a problem with lots of guests at a tea party, the more the merrier. Come on, Renee. I think you're the only one who would be having fun. She's right. I don't think you've got any reason to beat yourself up over this. We're all very different people from different walks of life, but right now we're all here sharing a common destiny. Yeah, in times like these, you've got to help each other out, right? Besides, this place relates to the Ariel, which is Lyrebro's problem. From my perspective, you're a victim. I couldn't agree more. As such, Kevin, we would appreciate you continuing to lead us as you have done so far. It's time to truly bring an end to what was started half a year ago. What can I even say? First, I'm stupid. Then Reyes pulls off the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and now you guys. This must be the biggest group of idiots in all of Zemeria. I swear, you wouldn't find a more gullible, naive bunch anywhere on the continent. I was happy to use each and every one of you for my own devices right to the very end. So how can you be so... It's alright, Kevin. Sometimes you just have to know when to give in. And you're at that point right now. Your luck ran out the second you got stuck with us. Got stuck with you mean? Spending too much time with pushy meddling do-gooders who don't know when to quit like you is bad for anyone. You want to say that again? Well, all those things describe you to a T. That much is true. They certainly do. I think they're your good points though. Yeah, so do I. I think Estelle's rubbed off on all of us at this point, and that's not a bad thing. Thanks, guys. Group of idiots is right. We're smack dab in the middle of a shitty situation here, but you wouldn't know it by looking at us. With the team this spectacular, what do we have to fear? There's a chance we could even overthrow the Erebonian government if we put our minds to it. Need I remind you that that's not something an Erebonian prince should be saying out loud. Alright, I know when I'm beat. We're in this together, and this time I actually mean it. Got it. We're happy to have you with us. Anyway, at least now we know exactly what we need to do here. We need to defeat Rufina, the Lord of Phantasma. There's no getting around that. Unfortunately not. Indeed. With that said, just where is she? You didn't encounter her in Gehenna, did you? She disappeared right after the two of you fell down there. That's a good question. I think it's safe to say she wasn't down in Gehenna with us. If she had been, she would have shown herself at some point. Yeah, but where is she? I believe I can answer that. We're all surprised about the ghost AI that's running around. Celeste, didn't realize you were here. I can't thank you enough for saving our hides earlier. Truly, I doubt we would have been able to get out unharmed if not for your assistance. We're both grateful beyond words. I was more than happy to help. All of us here are in the same predicament, myself included. You can even think of me as another one of your companions if you'd like. Naturally. What kind of answer are you thinking you can give? Ah, yes. It took some time, but I was able to discern her current location. What? Really? Is that what you've been working on all this time? Yes, it is. During my investigation of the 7th plane, I was able to gain an understanding of the layout and contents of Phantasma as a whole. I also discovered that the Lord of Phantasma isn't in any of the planes, rather she's outside of them. Phantasma consists of more than just the planes? What's it like outside of them? Think of the planes you've been exploring like a giant multi-layered structure in the center of Phantasma. They're all you've known up until this point, but this world consists of more than them. That said, the rest of Phantasma is just a vast barren wasteland at this point, abandoned and devoid of life. Hard to picture without seeing it for myself. Do you know where in this big abandoned wasteland she is? Because if it's that vast, just knowing she's there probably isn't gonna help us much. I have a relatively good idea where she is, thankfully. Although that doesn't solve the core problem. I fear the word vast doesn't do the scale of the wasteland itself justice. I believe it's roughly the size of the continent where you live. It's the size of Zumeria. That is going to pose a problem. Crossing an entire area that massive on foot would take months, maybe even longer. Do you have any other means of transport that we could use? I'm not sure my power will be of any use to you here. I can't place monuments too far from this garden, for one thing. Even if we did commit ourselves to trekking across the whole thing on foot, without the cube's power, we couldn't come back and resupply. Trying to take several months worth of food hardly seems realistic. Well, this is a tough one. I could only think of waiting for her to come to us. What's up with you, short stuff? Got something on your mind? Well, I was just thinking, why not use the aerosol? What? The replica we encountered on the first plane? Yeah. This world is supposed to react to desires of people in it, right? So while the aerosol might not be the real one, it looks just like it. Everyone here is plenty familiar with the real thing and how it looks, so it seems like a ship we could all picture flying easily. Maybe if we all wish for it to fly together, it might actually happen. Sorry, I'm being silly, aren't I? I don't know what's gotten into me. This isn't something an engineer should be saying. I don't think you're silly at all, Tita. In fact, I think that's a fantastic idea. You do? It does seem like the easier something is to imagine, the easier it is to have it realized in Phantasma. And both you and Julia are familiar with the exact structure of the aerosol, while most of us here have seen and been on board it. This might actually work. There's clearly no rule saying airships can't exist here, either given that we've already been on the Black Ark. Well, Celeste, do you think it would work? The aerosol was the ship you used to board the Live Ark, I believe, and if I were to feed the image of it flying, then back into the system, I think this might actually be possible. If all of you are on board, the White Wings will take you to the skies once more. We can really make this happen. I can't believe it. Well done, Tita. Totally. You really outdid yourself this time. Wait a second. Does that mean we might be able to make the Bobcat fly? There's a copy of that here, too. Oh, you're right. How many of you are familiar with that? Crap, forgot about that. I think Josette and I are the only ones who have actually flown in it. Scara, Olivia, and I have technically been in it, but that was just as stowaways. Yeah, that was back when we were investigating that airship hijacking. That was what a fun memory that adventure made, now that I look back. I'm not sure what the odds of success would be then. There's a rather small number of people. I think it would be wise to focus on trying to revive the aerosol first. Okay. Still, this sounds like a much better plan than trying to walk there on foot. We should prepare for departure at once, then make our way to the aerosol. Don't gotta tell me twice. We'll have a lot in store for us if we're able to make it work. However, I should warn you all of one thing. Once you have flown the aerosol to the area where the Lord of Phantasma awaits, that will be it. You will be unable to return to this garden ever again. Please be mindful of that. Never, not even once? Because we won't be able to use the cube's warp functionality anymore. Correct. Using it to warp is only possible when you are within a certain range of the garden. Go outside of that, and it's no longer possible. So before you depart, I would ask that you make absolutely sure you have everything you need, and you are ready for whatever you may find there. Good to know. It wouldn't hurt to do some extra training then. I don't doubt we're all gonna have to play our part in things to come. Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't mind getting in some exercise myself. Wouldn't want to wind up being the one to drag the group down. Well, this will be our last opportunity to open the doors scattered throughout the plains and take everything we find, too. It's probably best I step down as leader for the time being then. If you're just door hunting or trying to get some extra practice in, I'd only get in the way. If anyone else wants to learn how to use the cube or fill in my notebook, I'd be happy to teach you, just let me know. Let's just be sure that when the time comes, we leave with no regrets. Right. Chapter 8. The Future We Dreamed Of. Now we can really put anyone we want in the party.
I am ready. Piece of cake.
You ready?
Incidentally, I have one piece of news I think may be interesting in hearing. The area Kevin and Rias fell into is not only part of 7th Plane that exists. I have discovered another, much more vast area there. I also have reason to believe that it's filled to brim with devils, as well as highly dangerous. Nonetheless, I placed a monument down there to serve as an anchor should you wish to explore. You should be able to warp there using the cube. The abyss is now accessible. It is possible to warp to a new area on the 7th plane through the warp menu. The area contains countless powerful enemies, devils included, making it the perfect place to effectively level your party members. See, yep, we can now warp to the Abyss. The Abyss is the Laria's final dungeon, essentially, minus, the final dungeon. Basically, it's a giant, massive, well, not giant, massive, it's basically pretty straightforward little area you can use to train up and do all the stuff before you take on the final level. There's also a secret to the Abyss as well. It's where you can get the strongest weapon in the game. Now, a part of me wants to take on the Abyss side quest, but another part of me doesn't want to. But, I have to do a coin flip on this, honestly. I have to grind no matter what, because I have to use every party member in the last dungeon, and there's, like, several fuckers I haven't used. Like, look at this, look at this. Look at this level differentiation. She's still at 107. They're both still at 107. And look at this level 103. I at least have to make them all level 120. See, 105. 105. I only have myself to blame for this.
You ready?
Anyway. There are a lot of requirements for the Abyss that I want to do but don't want to do. But no matter what, I have to level up the party. Such a tough decision. But you know what? That's an all off-screen decision for me. I'm gonna put an end to this right here, put a pin on all this, and see you all next time. Hopefully by then I would have made my decision. Till then, everybody.